Welcome. In this unit, we're going to be discussing planning special events for girls ministry. Before you begin planning a special event, you want to first pray for God's direction. Ask the Lord to guide you and show you what type of event would be important for the girls in your ministry or would be needed at this time. And then you want to check the church calendar to be sure there's not any conflicts with the overall schedule of the church or the schedule of the student ministry. Then you want to communicate with all staff who would be involved, whether it be the student minister, the women's minister, or both. Be sure and communicate with everyone involved. You want to gather your leadership team together to pray and to brainstorm and to talk about what type of event they feel led to direct. And then talk about who would be willing to take over what aspect of the event. Then from there, you want to be sure that you secure your venue, whether it be at the church or whether it be off-site. You need to communicate with your church and determine what your church policies are for securing an off-site venue, if there's any contracts to be signed or anything like that. And be sure, if it's going to be at the church, to go ahead and get that on the church calendar. And want to think about for every person who is involved with your leadership, whether that be your adult volunteers or girls who might be able to take some leadership aspect, you can potentially have maybe 4 to 5 others who would attend the event. And for an event with students, with minors, you want to be sure that you have permission forms. You can shred those after the event, but you want to be sure that they have signed permission to be involved. Then you want to be sure that you secure, if you need a speaker or a worship leader, you want to give plenty of time to ask those people and to secure leaders for your event, depending on what type of event it is, or supplies that may be needed. If it's a fun event, an event doing a craft or something like that, what supplies would you need for that event? Then you want to think about whether you're a smaller church or a larger church. You want to plan for 5 girls the same as you would plan for 500. And to be sure that regardless of the size of event, you want to plan as though you would have a lot, even if only a few girls are able to come. Sometimes smaller churches can partner with other churches to make events more feasible. If you are in a church setting where you really would not be able to plan a larger special event for girls, you maybe think about planning together with the churches in your association for a larger, more regional type of event for girls. And then larger churches may want to think about inviting the smaller churches to be involved with some of their larger events, since they have a little bit greater ability to plan a large event. You know, we want to think about partnering with other churches. So those are some ideas, but again, you want to ask yourself, in determining a special event, ask yourself, why do you need to have this event? When would it be held? Where should it be held? Who would be involved? What would it be? How will you promote the event? What kind of communication? How will you get the word out for this event? How much will it cost? If you have no budget, you'll have to determine how you would come up with the money to pay for it, whether it be, will you charge a ticket price? Will you ask for donations or different things? So how much would it cost and how much would you charge? Some ideas for some special events might be retreats, or a spring break type trip, or a conference, going together to a conference or holding a conference at your church. You can have mission projects or different types of mission trips. You can have rites of passage events. We talked about in previous discussions about the changes that happen during adolescence. You can have events that highlight those different rites of passages that girls might be going through. You can also have some mother-daughter events or father-daughter events. You can have sleepover type of events or even sporting type events for girls. There's all different kinds of ideas for things that you can do for girls, but you want to be sure that you think through all of the logistics for planning and work through that process. Be sure that you're delegating, not trying to do it all by yourself, but involve as many women as you can to help you with that. And just pray through and ask the Lord to guide you through each aspect of your special event.